they like slightly discombobulated from all the brainwashing?
No, sir.
Do you know about the fact that the Earth is flat and it's actually not a rotating, spinning ball orbiting in
You're free to believe whatever you like, sir.
Hey, what's the name of that Freemason right there, the statue right there?
Segway tour.
Oh.
Segway tour.
You guys, you want to check that out?
Segway tour coming through.
Segway, the
flat
Earth is flat.
Hey,
Gyros only work on a flat Earth.
The Earth is flat.
That technology proves the Earth is flat.
Flat Earth. The Earth is flat. Flat Earth. You wouldn't be able to ride that if the Earth wasn't flat. The Earth is flat.
To understand any gyroscopic instrument, you must understand the principle of the gyroscope. It consists of a rotor mounted in a gimbal. The rotor can spin in one plane only. When another gimbal is added, a second plane of movement is possible. And when this assembly is mounted in bearings, the rotor has three planes of movement and can assume any possible attitude. This is now a freely mounted gyroscope. A spinning gyro has two important properties: precession and rigidity in space. All of its practical applications are based on these two properties. If a gyro moves around the Earth, its axis is vertical to the Earth's surface here, at an angle here, and horizontal here. The gyro maintains its attitude while the Earth turns under it. Every 6 hours, the gyro drifts through 90 degrees in relation to the Earth's surface.
Speaking.
Hey guys, you heard about flat Earth?
No.
You want to check it out?
Quand on arrive, on peut pas tout voir en même temps.
Yeah, when you're walking in the sidewalk in the city, I feel like you're kind of in a rush. Over here,
A little more chill.
you're touching the tip of the Earth. The Earth is flat. Flat Earth?
Look at this!
Flatten a city. That's the Adler Planetarium.
Are you me?
You said it already.
Too late.
Oh, look at that wizard.
Yeah.
Sitting up there on a...
With his heliocentric hellish model in his hand. Oh man, we're in for a treat, buddy. Hey guys, you ever question the shape of the Earth? You ever wonder why they got a sign that says flatten the Earth on the planetarium? They're trying to tell you something. Because they know they're lying to you.
Where do I want my thumbnail? With that guy? Or with
No, that sign. That sign. That sign is epic. No, they put it here just for us, I guarantee it.
They knew we were coming.
They knew what we announced it.
We announced it.
And it was on the live stream, so they knew.
Okay.
Well, they gave us a nice welcome, you know, appreciate it, guys. Appreciate the welcome. I mean, we're conflicting with your belief structure here, but you know.
Right on.
Today we think of him mostly as the inventor
Vegan tacos, yeah.
of a piano piece called The Nocturne,
Soy chorizo,
which was
lettuce, onions, and
quickly
tomato. I should
taken up
have
by
read.
other composers.
All right.
Field was a brilliant pianist.
I'm good. I had those 3 bananas, man. That's a lot of
3 bananas
3 bananas.
in a row.
Bam, bam, bam.
Do you know that it's not good
Pianists are not in a
To eat bananas?
to eat that?
Do you know that that's a lie?
Okay.
That's not true.
For much of the last 3 million years or so, we ate so many plants that we got 10,000 milligrams of potassium in our daily diet. Today, we'd be lucky to get 3,000. 98% of Americans eat potassium-deficient diets.
That is sad and funny, because all us vegans get asked constantly, hey, where do you get your protein? Like, No one has protein deficiency, but 98%, that's sad. Almost every single person in America is deficient in potassium, simply because they don't eat enough plants.
Eat that much banana?
Yeah,
they
that's
say that because they're so cheap?
They do that because they don't want people eating fruits and vegetables every meal of the day, so they tell you things like that to scare you. Yeah.
Because those bananas are so cheap, they just say that to scare you?
Well, it's not because they're so cheap. They like the fact that the bananas sell, but they just don't want people to give up meat.
Oh.
So if you knew that you get just as much protein in a day just having a few bananas versus eating...
Bananas have protein?
Oh yeah, all plants have protein, man. All plants. That's another lie that they told us, that you can only get protein from certain plants. Whoa, 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 whoa. Are they getting ready to false flag us? What is this? Military?
Are you recording?
I'm recording, just in case.
They're dressed up in nice looking shirts.
Insidious.
That one doesn't even have plates.
They don't have plates. False plates.
What does the D stand for? DOD? Let's walk really slowly and then maybe they won't see us.
Oh, we got more segways, huh?
Yeah, they went right past me. Space is freaking awesome. That's what the sign says.
You don't even know what space is. Space is a lie. And the lies are not awesome.
Okay, he's walking slowly towards us.
All right.
This ain't a don't
So we got government agents pretending like they're just workers, but we can see through the sky. Right, Scooby?
Scooby?
Oh.
Does that make you
Shaggy?
Shaggy?
I'm Shaggy, you're Scoob. Hey, Scoob. Over here.
He said there's a beach over here.
B-I-E-I-E. Maybe that's what he was calling you? Called you a beach?
Nope, I definitely see people in swim attire.
Attire? Tired from swimming? Oh, there's the beach. I see the beach.
That's what I just said.
I didn't know there was a beach.
Oh, there's a beach. Why are you filming me?
Just in case, man. Just in case.
In case something happens?
Yep. You never know.
You gonna talk to them? They look comfortable. Hello. Have you ever
How you doing?
the shape of the earth?
Sure.
The earth is flat. Like, I guess we could have brought shorts all the way out here. Oh, and there's a park. People are parking there.
I'm not telling you what just happened, Tim, but it was so gross you're lucky you didn't even notice it.
Okay, what happened? No, don't tell me then. Did you take a film of it?
Yep.
Something I walked through?
Yeah.
Did I step on it?
Almost. You were like kissing with it with your toe. It was like, didn't look good. Didn't look good, Tim.
Was it squirrel-like?
Some of the lower species of squirrel, or what humanity would deem the lower species of a squirrel. Lesser squirrel.
Was it a deceased squirrel?
Well, let's put it this way. These guys might be responsible for that.
He segued in.
He segued it to death. It didn't look like it was alive. So, yeah.
Oh, he was talking about this place with the tacos.
Oh, Del Campo.
But, I mean, if anyone can ride a Segway, then he must be.
And Gary, Indiana's over there. Look at Gary. That's Gary right in the shadows. A lot of people don't realize it because
So then you can see Gary, Indiana, because they're at the side.
And then, of course, the other side's Michigan, straight across, which on a clear day, you can see the factories over on the Michigan side. It's cloudy over there right now.
Catching this?
You can see Gary over there.
Because the Earth is flat.
Yeah, that's the most logical explanation. Why would the atmosphere curve it towards our eyes?
No, you're not.
You know, you're using a gyro, which would only work on a flat surface, not a spinning ball. So if you were traveling around the ball in a gyro, it would follow out of orientation, so you'd end up having to pick it back up again. I don't think it happens when you guys use that.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Gary, huh?
You said that's scary.
That's Gary. Do you see the building?
I see the buildings over there. And the chem...
I call that the Chem Bankment. You know, it's like hazy chem. Everything, all the clouds and everything get sucked into the chembankment, and so it separates the horizon from where the sky actually meets the water.
Yeah.
Chembankment.
Chembankment.
Yeah.
Steve. FlatEarthCity.
Hello.
So let's do
what
it.
else is tonight? The Bears game.
So we go to the tailgate.
The Bears game at 7:15 it starts.
Keep the party going.
The tailgate is a free tailgate as well down the road.
Really?
Really?
We can always go and
Yeah, we can always just
This is only
smack
open
there.
till 4.
There's only like one other
It's
hour.
only open for another hour.
What is this?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's the end of it.
Flatten a city on Earth. We told them it was flat.
I see space doesn't really exist.
He's been to space. Okay.
They just spent money to go prove to themselves that space does exist.
It's a bit conflicting with their nature, yeah.
It's like going into the belly of the beast, huh? Like if you have a warrant, just walking into a police station.
Exactly. Half these people will never even look into it. They'll never know the truth, you know?
It's a,
What am I talking about? 90% of these people.
well, no, that piece of art there.
That corporate art over there?
We've got Copernicus up there.
Oh yeah, we haven't gone and said hi to him yet. I'm just too nervous.
Yeah, we already saw,
Columbus.
yeah, I was going to say Satan, but yeah, it's the same thing.
Oh, he is such a demonic statue.
Hey guys, can I give you that? Check it out.
Bang, dali ma, picture kan duha. Dali sama.
Don't film me.
What?
Trying to get up the stairs with my sign.
You're good, man. So graceful.
Thanks.
So graceful.
A lot of people have accents. A lot of people have
Yeah, actually, I don't think anybody that lives here.
Flat Earth. The Earth is flat.
I was waving too. I waved at him. You guys are so cool. I say we just try walking in,
4%.
and then we get that little bit of footage of us just getting, turn around. We're leaving. No problem. Let's do it.
Do what?
Use their air conditioning for 10 seconds.
Flat Earth.
Flat Earth, yeah! He's a flat Earth guy, no? Maybe not just making fun.
We'll take it, by the way.
Why didn't they stop, right? That was ridiculous. We tried to flag them down.
Yeah, bro, you want to fly? Check it out, man.
Hey guys, check it out.
Have you ever questioned the shape of the Earth? We live on a flat most of the shape of the planet.
You did the wave like the Jedi.
This is not the pamphlet that you want to be giving me.
Yeah. We explained to this gentleman that gyroscopes don't work on a rotating ball, but
Because you can see Gary, Indiana from over here,
yeah,
over on the beach side, but it's really not that far away.
it isn't.
It's not like Michigan on the other side.
But should it be completely vertical, 90 degrees?
But the embankment was hiding a lot of the building.
True.
So there was, hello. Have you ever questioned the shape of the Earth? The Earth is flat. You talking to that one? Flat Earth! Flat Earth!
Flat Earth, guys.
Flat Earth!
Gyros don't work on a sphere.
Flat Earth, round like a pizza or round like a penny? It's like a donut.
Hey guys.
That's better.
Yeah, he's triggered now.
Check it out.
Is it good in that?
Hey, how you doing, man? Can I give you that? Heard about the flat Earth?
Come back.
Know about that?
You really gonna go inside?
Yeah, that's my plan. Belly of the
Cameras would be
beast.
the problem.
The camera's in the building?
No, the cameras we holding.
Oh, well, we're tourists. Tour, give us the tour. We're here for the tour.
Now, there's the guy at a pedestal right when you walk in.
Well, then I'm gonna say hi to the guy on the
Well, we
pedestal.
want to find out if we can come in, that's all.
Yeah,
We heard it was free for September anyway.
Is it free?
yeah,
I think so.
Oh,
supposed to be free.
in September?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Really?
free timber.
They're all free, the aquarium, this, and the film museum.
Yep. All right, let's see if we can take a ganders inside. It's 3:02, so we close at 4. We got a full solid hour.
I got 6.
Why not? Closing entire required. Can't.
Gentlemen.
How's it going?
Can we help you?
Just wanted to check out.
The counter's right there, and just to let you know, we close
in an hour. Yes.
You already know that.
Yeah.
All right.
Free for members, maybe.
Members. I think you got to prove you're a Chicago citizen.
Yeah, planetarians usually are.
Hi there. Hi. Is it free for the month of September?
No, sir. No, the ship aquarium.
Gotcha. Okay.
How much is it in here anyway?
We just do general. We do close in an hour, and general admission is $12 per person just to walk around the museum.
Oh, okay. We don't get a discount because it's an hour closed. We like $6 or something. Nothing.
No, sir. Unfortunately.
Oh, we usually
It's
set
not
up
doing
our
that.
best right now because we only have one show left, so we have 4. So you'd be basically
So wait, what's the?
This will just make me like hurt physically inside if you're just being in here.
What is this for a year?
Why is it so much?
No, sir. This is if you do the one show package.
Yes.
Which at this time we have one remaining show, and then after the show we will be closed.
When the people come out, are they like slightly discombobulated from all the brainwashing and stuff that they go through with the planetarium lies about space?
No, sir.
Is that a thing? Do you know about the fact that the Earth is flat and it's actually not a rotating spinning ball orbiting in?
You're free to believe whatever you like.
Oh yeah.
Do you have any questions?
Totally free.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, have you heard about that? Do you know that there's actually no? No. I mean, this is for a human being. Like, do you know that there's no physical?
Would be good to speak to an astronomer.
Scientific proof. Can we speak to an astronomer? Can we?
If you pay to go into the museum.
Oh, we gotta pay. Well, maybe we can like set it up online or something. I would like to have a nice little.
You can also speak to the Adler on Facebook.
Via. Oh, see, I don't have Facebook. That's a thing.
So is it the Field Museum as well that's free, or just the?
You don't think it's strange that they show you CGI of space, but you don't get to see real footage of space? That's never crossed your mind?
No, sir.
I'm just wondering, because I wonder how people work here and don't even question the fact that they've never seen real footage, and they see CGI and they say, oh, well, that's space, but it's like, well, why wouldn't you want to see real space to know space exists? Like, why do you have to see a cartoon to know it's real? Like,
Are you a religious person?
I'm just a human being. I don't have to subscribe to a religion or nothing, do I?
We're just skeptics. It's just about being skeptical.
I'm just saying, like, scientifically speaking, for me, like, scientific proof wouldn't necessarily be video, but if you were going to convince me they were real, I would assume that you were going to show me real footage of space, but they don't do that. I'm only bringing this to you. I know you're not a scientist or anything, but it's interesting to know. I'm talking to a human being. I know, I'm talking to a human being, but I'm saying, like, as a human being, a fellow human being here on Earth, like, wouldn't you question the fact that your information is coming from cartoons? Like, why wouldn't you want the real, like, when Discovery America and they show you the squirrels living in their natural habitat, they have cameras out there with the squirrels in the nests and stuff, and you get to see that and you get to experience it, so you know it's real. But when they show you space, they show you cartoons and CGI. Don't you think that's strange? Like, why wouldn't you get the full Discovery package and actually see space for itself? You know, like, that's just interesting. That's a question I should be asking all humans. Like, why do we require just cartoons? You know. So, pretty interesting stuff. I don't know if you ever even thought about that. But we'll leave you alone. We'll get out of your hair or whatever. But it's just nice to speak to another human that's kind of in the situation and just see what your take on it is, if you've ever thought about these things. You know. So.
Shows are kind of nice to watch.
Yeah.
Shows are kind of nice.
Oh, they're very vivid and stunning. Yeah. Too bad we don't get to see the real deal. But yeah.
Looking for a laser gun.
Okay. He's gonna grab his gun. Right, just kidding. All right, take it easy, man. Appreciate it. Hey, what's the name of that Freemason right there? The statue right there. Do you know what Freemason that is? I'm just curious, because we have the Jesuit, we have all the sun, moon, stars, Venus. What Freemason is that over there? Do you know what degree of Freemason is? Is he 33 degree?
I have no idea, gentlemen.
No, we were talking to him about like how interesting is that people can walk in these buildings and see only cartoons and sci-fi CGI, but never question to actually see real space. Like that's not enough for them. All we want is just cartoons. We don't want to see real observations of space.
We as in the general public?
The general public, because yet this place exists and they don't show you real space, so all we get is the CGI. So why is that? That's kind of interesting that a planetarium would only offer you cartoons, being that we're adults, you know. It's just an interesting thought.
You're losing me on that one.
Well, I mean, have you seen real footage in here? Of space?
No. I mean, when you say real space, what do you mean? We have to
well, I mean, like, for instance,
explain the telescope. So what you're looking at is not as far away as
well, there's a limit to how far I can see, right?
3 miles a human being can see.
Well, I'm talking about the telescope.
Yes,
there's a limit.
Yes, a convergence point depending on the optics of that.
So I mean, it's not.
So explain why what they're looking at when they look through the telescope.
So when you do look through a real natural telescope of your own, you're seeing points of light. Yet when they made these discoveries, like we're talking back in the 1800s, 1700s, whatever, they were using the same equipment, actually lesser grade, and they had full detail planets. Don't you think that's interesting?
Yeah, it could be.
It's like a meeting of the Greek gods.
That was
strange.
Yeah, don't you think that's strange that our solar system is based off of a religious sort of supposition?
That was constructed in 1930, guys.
Right.
2018.
Right. Yeah, here we are.
That's 1930.
Yep. I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I did with the gentleman over there.
We have to understand the period that this was built.
Right.
1930.
Exactly.
Yeah. A long time ago.
It was. And it's interesting that we still follow the same sort of belief systems. Yeah.
Some people.
Yeah.
Just Jim Lavelle, that's all.
Yeah. 32nd degree. Okay. Cool. We'll leave you to it, man. Yeah. Much love.
Creepy that they have all the gods over the names of the planets.
Well, it's obvious what it's for.
There was no Pluto there.
Yep.
They made Pluto up, didn't they?
Yep. Yeah, they were lying from the jump.
The show that they're talking about right now is called The Ninth Planet.
Yeah.
So is that Planet X or whatever? Or is that Pluto that they're trying to...
Did you see that they closed all the solar observatories this week?
Yeah, what's that all about?
I don't know what that's about.
Nefarious, I'm sure.
And they're also doing the FEMA tests this week with the text messages.
Oh.
Trump's going to text message the whole country.
What? Great. So we're going to get a text message that says, prepare yourself for FEMA
aliens
camps.
or something.
Have we
been to space?
Has anybody been to space? Who's been to space?
It's a matter of faith that we take it from people who have been.
Right, like if 500 people said the Loch Ness Monster exists, does it really exist?
It's somebody from Scotland that can add an R say the Loch Ness Monster exists.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, then we know space exists, if that's the premise we're going through. But yeah, just a thought. And then here's another interesting notion. You go in there and you see cartoons and CGI, but why not show real space? Like, what's so hard about that, right? I mean, we're adults. We're not kids. We don't need to see cartoons. Show us the real thing. I can watch Discovery Channel and see a squirrel in its natural habitat.
What do you get CGI?
Yeah. Just trying to inspire critical thought and just see if we're looking at the world, through open eyes. And are we closing ourselves off to truths, or are we open to them? So interesting that sign says flatten the city on Earth. It's almost like a Freudian slip. Interesting. All right, guys. Steve, we're flat smacking. We're doing it.
Did you get him coming outside watching us?
Yeah. He did the squinty eye. I'm watching you, buddy.
How about these
Squinty
guys?
eye over the thing. Hello.
Hey, guys.
Have you ever
Hey, guys.
questioned the shape of the Earth?
Yeah.
The Earth is flat. What? What is right?
What a world. Some sort of pre-game party?
Bears fans.
What Once I looked up where this was at and how to get here and stuff, and then I saw that the stadium was right there, and it was Monday night football day, I'm like...
You got excited.
I wasn't too sure about going into, like I said, the belly of the beast. Right. And then we saw the sign that says flatten the city on Earth.
And we're like, oh, they did it just for us. They knew we were coming. So.
We didn't always think this. About a year and a half ago, I think it's the same thing. I came here and I love space.
What do you think that the stone was created? Yeah. What do you think it created?
Oh, well, I mean, the creator.
Whoever it is, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't come from a religious point of view because I was an atheist before I discovered this. But it is common sense once you think about it. The water, every body of water, that lake and every ocean does seek its level. You know, we cannot witness a curved horizon. The horizon is horizontal, hence the name. So, yeah, in the end, you know, there's a limit to how far you can see. But if you take, you know, they say ships over the horizon.
Do you think that if the Earth was round, would you see the
curvature?
The water like curve?
Well, eventually, as you grow.
Do you think that you actually can see like this huge curve that you cannot see with your human eyes?
Well, it wouldn't illuminate.
Well, they tell us
from height. So as you rose in altitude, you would have to start to see its bend, and the horizon would have to
drop.
You know that we're still on the curve.
Yes, the Earth is 25,000 miles in circumference. So they say around 35,000 feet altitude. You're supposed to see the curve. You're supposed to actually be seeing a noticeable curve, is what they say. But if you look there, one of the number one proofs is at 120,000 feet, it's completely flat, which is way above their suspected curvature.
The curve that they show us of like NASA images, they often use a fisheye lens, so it makes, you know, sometimes you get a curve at 100 feet off the ground. You know, it's very inconsistent. The fact that they're lying and the fact that we can never see it ourselves is kind of
and why is NASA using GoPro?
Because if they make us think that we are random accidents, then we probably
easy to control, easy to manipulate.
We don't really think that anything matters at all. Nothing really matters.
If government becomes your god.
Basically it's mind control.
It's like mind control 101. It's like I'm in charge, nobody else. So you got to make sure you're the one in charge.
The idea of a higher power so that you can be led into being controlled by the government and they can become the higher power.
So you don't think that have a higher power and an round Earth?
Well,
you
can, but there's no.
But the round Earth spinning through space, basically the notion of the Big Bang, evolution, dinosaurs, is all just for them trying to explain a way that we could be here without a creator.
Plus, it contradicts creation itself because in it says everything's a random act. But if you look at humans and all species that exist, we're so complex, so complicated. Nothing could be just randomly placed together. We have, you know, different vestibular systems and stuff like that interact with each other, but they're all completely isolated from each other. So you have multiple systems existing in your body that exist. None can exist without the other, and yet we evolved. So which system evolved first? And what system was more important? And when did they all become vital and important, dependent on each other after? I mean, like, if you look, like how they say evolution even works, they say that it's an add to the code. You know, something gets added to the code. But if you look through scientific terms, you'll find that the only mutations we see on Earth are things being removed from code. Like, for instance, species that change their beaks and stuff like that. They've done actual studies on them, and they found out that their DNA is far degraded from their original ancestors. So if evolution exists, then you would see constantly different species getting different attributes added, but that's not what you see. You see subtraction. You always see things being taken away from the process of life. But that's just like one point of view. You know? Right. But evolution functions, the whole premise of evolution is the adding of new...
I got it wrong.
So what existed first? But something was added originally, right? So like the first being, let's say like the fish that crawled out of the water. But they're telling us that the species didn't all exist at once. They're telling us that these species evolved over time. So, but evolution is the adding of information. Right, but that I'm saying it doesn't explain the degradation of code. I would love to listen.
Okay, so when the system works and it's formed, because it's first it has to be formed, when it works,
okay.
it just continues existing.
How did it form?
Random?
Yes. So why don't we witness that today? How come we're not witnessing random
Because you can't
forms?
witness something that is needed to here.
So it can only happen once, and it can only happen in the past. It can never happen in the future. It can never happen in the present.
Something that happens today, it's a small part that is very consistent that will form.
So that's a belief,
It's a
right?
religion. It's
That's
a
a belief.
religion.
That's a
No,
religion.
that's not religion.
Well, there's no scientific proof. You can't observe it.
This falls. I know it falls, but it's not religion.
That's density and buoyancy. Do you know what density and buoyancy is? Like, for instance, the air is not stiff enough to hold that up. So the air has no support.
It's not belief. It's not faith.
It is. It is. Because
you have the wrong reason for why you think it's falling. You think it's being pulled down, but it's not. It's just heavier than the air surrounding it.
Density and buoyancy is a law. Like you can observe that
because it's less dense than the air surrounding it. Hydrogen will rise even faster. Everything goes up and down just based on relative density. It's nothing to do with anything pulling it down.
You can't prove that there's a force pulling it down.
Fails to exist.
That's why gravity's still a theory.
That air bubbles rise in water because they are less dense than the surrounding media. It's literally just the surrounding media.
Gravity. Well, we can't single the force of gravity. We can only observe what we presume to be gravity.
So it's basically what they were saying.
But that's not an observation. That's a premise. That's a presupposition. You're assuming you're assuming that. But that's what we're saying is that we can physically prove density and buoyancy. We can't physically prove gravity. That's the leap that you're taking. That's what we're saying. Is that you're taking a leap and believing that a force.
Not the law of gravity.
But the scientists themselves are on consensus and they say they cannot prove gravity. So what you're saying is in contradiction to what they're saying.
Exactly, like you have your skin on you, that's just not necessarily a dome or how do you call it?
Barrier?
A barrier, yeah. It's just particles.
Well, then the liquid should spill out of our bodies.
It's just particles. That's exactly how the atmosphere works.
Can I ask you a question? So your definition of particles, are you speaking of atoms? Are you speaking, I mean, the particles could be anything. Any small, fragment of something is a particle. So when you're speaking particles, are you speaking in like what? Quantum physics? Are we talking theoretical science here? Because that's what we're trying to point out is that we're not trying to come from the presupposition of using science as assumptions. We're just saying what's physically observable and provable. That's all we're pointing out. All these things that you're pointing out that you believe in, they're beliefs, and that's what we're saying to you, is that, yes, you might be right, but it's still just a belief and it's still a religion at this point. And that's what we're trying to inform the people, is that people like to think that science has already made its mind, it's already decided. But if that were true, then a lot of things would still be up for decision, because there's still things Right, exactly. So our basis of science...
People were still taught in schools that the earth is flat up until about
to tell you what's right.
Yes, exactly. So, but also we know, but just so you don't contradict yourself, we know in history, through personal observation, that history's been messed with, right? So like we get stories of history that are not necessarily true, and yet we live to these assumptions in our day-to-day civilizations, right? That's what we're suggesting, that that's what's going on in the scientific community, is that there's some assumptions that might have been tampered or messed with to manipulate the results. So from a scientific premise, like we're just saying, we're putting it on our shoulders and saying, what can we do as people to prove this? So that's what it is.
Well, I understand your point of saying that we shouldn't blindly believe in everything that science says, but that doesn't mean that we should just ignore what the majority of scientists prove.
No.
There's not a single proof of the Earth being in motion.
That's what we're saying. There's no scientific proof that you can do that proves the Earth's in motion.
So you can't prove it yourself.
If the Earth was round, the water would just fall up.
Well,
yeah, the water would eventually, what centrifugal force is, obviously. Alright, so you gotta go. But centrifugal force would speed up at the equator. All the water should rise into a hump. It should be observable, but we don't see that. So, alright guys, much love. Good one. She was doubting, but that's good because we all did. Tim! What are you doing, Tim?
Okay.
You're not doing anything wrong, Tim. Where are you going? Hey guys, heard about Flat Earth?